Hi everyone, it's Rabbi Dr. Jack Cohen, dating coach, shadchan, public lecturer, lifelong student of my Rebbe, Rav Avigdor Miller. Let's talk about this week's Parsha Ki Tisa. It contains one of the most painful episodes in Jewish history, the sin of the golden calf. And we read it, we naturally ask a question: how could a nation that just stood at Har Sinai, that had risen such a high caliber, fall so quickly? How could they fall so low? But Rav Avigdor Miller explains that the Torah is not telling this story to shame the Jews. The Torah is teaching us something about human greatness. Because if you look carefully, the same people who stumbled were the same people who became the greatest nation in the world. And that teaches us a very important principle, ladies and gentlemen. The greatness of a person is not measured by whether he or she never makes a mistake. The greatness of a person is measured by what they do after the mistake. When the Jewish people realized what had happened, they didn't deny their sin. They didn't make excuses. They were broken by their behavior. They did tshuva, they repented, and they rebuilt themselves. And that is the secret of the greatness of the Jewish people. Other nations disappear after their failures. Civilizations collapse after their mistakes. But the Jewish nation has a different quality. We know how to get up again. We rise like a lion. Rabbi Miller explains that this is the meaning of God's message to Moshe Rabbeinu, that the Jewish people are am kishe'oref. They're a stiff-necked nation. Usually we think about that comment of being stiff-necked, that's a criticism. A stiff neck might be equated with stubbornness. But Rav Miller explains that stubbornness can be the greatest virtue in the world, because that same stubbornness that sometimes leads to mistakes is also what allows a Jew to stand strong for thousands of years. A Jew can be pushed. A Jew can stumble. But a Jew does not disappear. For 3,000 years, we have faced exile, persecution, pressure from every direction. Entire empires tried to erase us. And yet we're still here. Why? Let's ask that question. Why are the Jewish people still here? Because we are stubborn for the truth. Once a Jew knows that something is true, he holds on to it. He holds on to the Torah. He holds on to the mitzvot. He holds on to the Ribbon Shalom, our master of the universe. And that is the real lesson of the golden calf. Usually we think about that comment of being stiff-necked. The Torah is not telling us that Jews are perfect. The Torah is telling us that Jews are resilient. That's a key word, that we are resilient. We fall, but we rise again. We stumble, but we rebuild. And each time we return, we come back stronger. And that is why the Jewish people became the eternal nation. Because perfection is not the secret of greatness. The secret is never giving up. That is the message of this week's Parsha Ki Tisa. Have a wonderful Shabbat.